Hello my fellow Shogun 2 players, Zaript here, with the next game of, well, actually I wanted to say Don Rumata, but I'm not in his game. This is still Twilight Samurai number 8, but the game is between Oleg Vadimovich and Trollgarian soldier, our old friend Bulgarian soldier who likes to change his names. And he, from the very beginning, goes very aggressively in the middle against these Waka Raiders, charges them with Yari Cavalry, countercharges this Yari Cavalry with two of his, well, Yari Cavalry and Light Cavalry. So we see very sword-heavy army, and actually quite big sword army from Oleg Vadimovich, and quite a cavalry-heavy army from Bulgarian soldier. And while Bulgarian soldier have two Marchliks, Oleg Vadimovich have none. So this is a pure rush, and it will probably be played as a pure rush, sorry. So probably the biggest thing for us to look for is cavalry charges, and we mostly will be interested in how much cavalry manages to kill. So let's see, Yari cavalry and light cavalry charging from behind, and Oleg Vadimovich actually reacts with one Naginata attendant and Nodachi Samurai, and look, he squashes them. This is sort of a trap, I should say. He sacrifices one Nodachi, and it's a big sacrifice, but he gets Yari Cavalry in return. And it's actually cost as much as this Nodachi rank 7, maybe not. But anyway, for Bulgarian soldier, it's not that easy at the moment. He needs to exchange his cavalry for swords, and somehow keep some light cavalry of Oleg Vadimovich away. Very ballsy build from Oleg Vadimovich, I should say, absolutely ballsy, and it could actually work. It could work if Bulgarian soldier cannot find a way to get from this area. So let's take a look. This Yari Samurai here holding, but they will be dying. He had to charge two of his cavalry units, which are now dead. His Marshliks just now started shooting. Let's get you some charges into these Marshliks. I don't think they will survive for long. Let's see, so General of Bulgarian soldier is mostly leadership gen. So we have pretty much balanced build with some cavalry, some Marshliks, some swords and spears against pure sword rush, with a couple of support units just to complement that sword rush. And as we can see, the balanced build didn't lost yet, but this one remaining Yari cavalry of Oleg Vadimovich can win him the game now. Unless this light cavalry can deal with it. Oh man, this much like Ashigaru, when they shot it, it's likely done. So Bulgarian soldier tries to clean up middle as fast as possible. His general already done quite a good job in melee, so it has some points in melee probably. But now his general would be probably hunted by Yari cavalry, or this cavalry will go for these Marchliks. Well, Marchlik Ashigaru definitely not a very good kiting unit. It doesn't have good enough reload, but this is Nodachi 120, this is Naginata attendants, this is Yari Samurai, this is Fire Cavalry, 40 men. Oh, and BP Sam. Well, in my opinion, Bulgarian soldier have barely not enough, just slightly not enough. In my opinion, even if he does everything perfectly, Oleg Vadimovich will be left with at least one unit of swords. A bit premature retreat, I think. He could have charged deeper, but don't take my word on that. Oh, Matchliks actually found an angle. Naginata attendants will take a charge of this Nodachi, but this is a problem. Look, he's throwing Naginata attendants without getting anything back, anything in return. This is bad. If BP Sam follow it somehow, it would have been meaningful. Now, but so Oleg Vadimovich putting pressure with his Nodachi. Yes, this Nodachi will not be able to charge. Much looks alive. Not so bad, not so bad at all. Actually, Bulgarian soldier doing much better than I expected him to. You see what he does? He pretty much buys himself time by doing the same thing as Oleg Vadimovich. But for Oleg Vadimovich, it's his swords putting pressure from sides, while for Bulgarian soldier, it's much like working as a magnet for this cavalry unit. Oh, no one drops, I hope. Because this cavalry can only do anything to these Marshalks, honestly, and the moment it gets in fight with fire cavalry, it loses. Oleg already calls GG, and I'm surprised. I'm totally surprised, but I guess ideal late game for Bulgarian soldier when I already called game for Oleg Vadimovich pretty much. I guess the biggest surprise is how easily this Nodachi got destroyed by BP Sam. They wasted their charge on Naginata attendants and didn't get a good charge on BP Sam later. Beautiful game. Beautiful. I think both players played very interestingly. While Sword Rush may be not the most fine strategy or finest approach, but it still has... how should I put it? It's a ballsy move which still requires you to play properly, like if you have to win. Because there were quite a bit of decision making by Oleg Vadimovich. He had to... It was easier for him, definitely, to manage his army than for Bulgarian soldier. But Oleg Vadimovich had to make tough decisions. Decisions how to actually take cavalry charges. It's not easy. You take swords and you expect to somehow exchange them for cavalry. And your swords are only for dealing with enemy infantry. And I think in that regard Oleg Vadimovich did quite a well job. He just couldn't tie up Bulgarian soldier forces to actually connect his melee rush. And another problem, of course, the fact that Bulgarian soldier managed to get Oleg Vadimovich a general quite early. That's a big thing too, of course. Kill-wise, incredible fire cavalry. When I first showed this unit to you, it had 40 men left and 120 kills in the middle of a fight. And they managed to get 140 more. No, well, 100 at least, 110. General did quite well despite being pretty much leadership gen. Yari cavalry, mostly cavalry. Yeah, 3 cavalry units did the biggest. And Bulgarian soldier didn't even notice me. Okay. Anyway, guys. Oh wait. Let me take a look. Oh. Yeah, I didn't check them well enough. So a lot of these forces were Katana Samurai rank 7. I see. Well, there weren't enough time for me to actually look at them. Katana Samurai can take cavalry charges quite well, but obviously when general is dead, they're absolutely not stable, I should say. Just not enough morale to stay after general died. And of course Waka Raider has been lost a bit too early. That's another problem. If you bring such a sword rush and have so little cavalry, you cannot easily support your Waka Raider, and I guess sometimes it's better to have it like Prussian Prince does. Just deploy your Waka Raiders with your main forces and use it like that, just as a cheap sword unit. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and see you in the next game very soon.